Listen up, bastards. If you only listen to one or two genres of music, then I see you just as bad as being a racist. I know, a little exaggerated it may seem like, but I truly believe that being that close-minded is very detrimental.
Now, before I get into that, let me give you some context about why I wanted to talk about this topic. So, recently I was talking to a little fine shit, a baddie real quick, and the topic about music came about. Obviously, music is very important to me, and it will be important to me in my relationships. Her having good music taste is a non-negotiable. She has to like music, or at least have a deep appreciation for it like I do, because if not, we're not going to get along. So, I asked her, what kind of music do you like? And you know what she told me? I listen to R&B and hip hop. And I said, okay, let me give her a little grace. And I asked her, is that it? And she said, yeah. What else would I listen to? And I was just so dumbfounded that I lost all attraction towards her. To think that somebody could only find appreciation in R&B and hip hop, to me is just, it's just blasphemy. Whatever big SAT word you want to use. Because music, there's a lot of reasons why you should get into a lot of different genres of music. So I had to come running to my camera. I had to go to a very scenic place that I feel like sets the mood for why you should, have an appreciation for all types of music, the same way everybody has appreciation for all different types of views. So yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to make this video. So let's get right into it. My biggest problem with the whole I only listen to two genres or I listen to everything except country kind of rhetoric is that for some reason you're holding certain stigmas or stereotypes to certain genres of music. Like, for example, rock and roll or country or white people, racist country music. It's not really meant for black people, even though it was created and started by black people. And just like ignoring the history context behind gentrification or, adoption of certain sounds and styles into the pop culture of the modern day just really shows how sheltered and closed-minded you are, like how afraid you are of being open to something different or liking something that is not the norm of whatever your peers around you find acceptable for a person like you to like. Imagine if only, one group of, New Yorkers only liked hip hop. If it was only Brooklyn or whatever borough it started in, and it never ventured out to any other parts of the world, we wouldn't get West Coast rap. We wouldn't get UK grime rap. We wouldn't get all these different styles of music if somebody wasn't willing to listen to something that's not from their comfort zone. And that's really my biggest problem with it, is that people who aren't willing to adopt certain styles and sounds of music outside of the things that they were first introduced to are really just telling me that I don't want to escape my comfort zone. I don't want to escape the matrix. I don't want to escape whatever, sense of comfortability I have with the genres and the artists that I know what to expect from. And that's why my biggest issue with a lot of artists is that they're not willing to experiment. They keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting me to champion it like it was the first time I ever heard it. And that's why I wanted to call them out on their bullshit, because stepping out of your comfort zone, you're going to end up being, I don't want to say forgotten, but you're going to feel like the days are shorter than they are. You're going to feel like life is passing you by so fast. You're going to feel like you're 60 and your life is over. You weren't willing to try different things. You weren't willing to explore different cultures, just like a racist person. And that's why I made the correlation of somebody who only listens to one or two genres of music as the same as a racist person only involving themselves with one or two different groups of people. White people and the closest adjacent to that, if they're like a white racist. Obviously, there's races of different kinds, but just for an example, of course. So, like myself, I like to come out here and to new places, explore different hikes, different, peaks and things like this. Because the things I look for in my music exploration are things that make me, self-reflect, have internalized, realizations and things like this. And peaks and sunsets. I mean, the sun is blinding right now, but you know, I did it for the video because I want you guys to really get out there. If you guys can't get out of your room, then maybe I will, and you know, I'll make you guys listen to new genres of music. Like, imagine you're sitting here with me right next to me, and you're looking at this sunset, and you're looking at the view, you're looking at the valley, the houses, the rocks, and you just play some, I don't know, I don't even know, you just play some Justin Timberlake. I wanna rock your body, everything. Like, to me, I would be like, bro, turn that off. I'm not trying to hear Justin Timberlake pop music at this place. I want to hear some Viva La Vida by Cosplay. No offense, Kai Cenat. I just thought that was so funny when he said that. But yeah, you want to hear some Coldplay. You want to hear some Radiohead. You want to hear some, you know, Stevie Wonder, some Marvin Gaye. You want to hear things that travel across the valley, that make you feel isolated, to really look at yourself and say, today's January 31st. It's the end of the first month of 2026. What are my goals? How am I going to, you know, attack those goals? How am I going to, you know, hear new things? How am I going to be a different, better person than I was yesterday and the years before? I just can't stop listening to 2, 3, 4, 5 genres. I need to listen to anything I can get my hands on. And when that girl was talking to me about like she only listened to R&B and hip hop, I said, okay, if we ever go on a date and I ever, you know, am driving her around, I am going to make it my mission to not play any R&B and hip hop. I am that petty where I'm like, oh, you want a fun time? Well, that's not what it's going to be with me. You're going to get new experiments. You're going to hear David Bowie, Black Star. You're going to hear Lazarus. You're going to hear songs that make you think I'm in a cult or something. I don't know. I just want you to feel something different. And maybe that's just the type of person I am. I'm just like always wanting people to be out of their comfort zone so they learn stuff. They like, you know, they feel stuff. But, you know, I think that's what life is about. And being racist or only listening to a few genres of music is what's going to really stop you from really, you know, having a good understanding of what it is to live life. I forgot to add one important thing. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. As I'm coming down from this hike, I need you guys to help support this channel. Oh, look at the sky. Wow. All those, you know, ugly looking clouds. But anyways, go ahead, hit those buttons. It helps out a lot. I'm trying to make the best content in the world right now. And the only way I could do that is by your guys' support. So thank you guys for watching.